Back in like 89, no, maybe like 90, my cousin, he goes after Bun versus the Snail. He's a painter out of Cudahy. You can look him up on Instagram, Bun versus the Snail. Anyways, he kind of put me onto the Beastie Boys, and back in the early 90s, the Beastie Boys used to dress like vintage.
Resurrection, popular election, get paid every year like tax collection. Hear my perfection, rotary connection, taking MCs down by lethal rap projection.
So I used to kind of want to emulate the Beastie Boys, and I used to go thrift shopping, and I used to, look for like gems and shit, hang 10, just like a throwback, like stuff from the era of the late 70s, early 80s. I used to dig for when I was like 14, and I've always been into fashion, and I even came out in a Japanese magazine as far as like kind of exhibiting my fashion and my flavor and shit. So back in the 90s, man, like, and ever since then I've always been into hip-hop fashion, but it started through my cousin and being deep into the Beastie Boys and Check Your Head album. That's when they was really on that fly shit. The type of shit that I collect is I collect a lot of vintage, but everything that I collect isn't vintage. Like for instance, I'm a big Stone Throw fan, Matt Villain, MF Doom. I like hip-hop t-shirts. I do a bunch of starter, like this is a starter. I got this at a thrift shop, paid like 30 bucks. I got this at a thrift shop. This is like some 90s starter. I paid like 45 for this. And then there's a starter. I paid 120 for that. I had to because it's the Browns, you know what I'm saying? The Bulls. I collect vintage Columbia and Timberland because that's like a stamp in hip hop. You know what I mean? I got this vintage Columbia's reverse. That's what I'm saying. Like the 90s had ill ass colorways. This is like a reversible joint. You got this teal or whatever the color may be, with the pink, with that. It's just like flavor as fuck, you know what I'm saying? Vintage Tommy, I do a lot of vintage. That's original vintage Tommy tag right there. So a lot of it is vintage, you know what I mean? But I get like new, fly shit obviously, like the Raekwon and shit. Vintage Reebok corduroy. I always fuck with Polo, obviously. It's always gonna be timeless shit. Polo's been hot. Then I do a lot of dead stock. This stuff from the 90s that still has the tag. Actually, where is that joint? I got this motherfucker, the 88 World Series. It's from 1988, the World Series, still with the tag dead stock. So I bought the matching dead stock hat, just shitting on the game, basically. And yeah, man, just anything that captures my eye, like this motherfucker right here, you know what I'm saying? Like Mercedes-Benz on that Rakim shit. So I collect old, new, not necessarily any, I'm not into the Gucci and all that expensive because I can't afford all that shit, but I'm just into the shit that I like. So basically I collect hip-hop cassettes and hip-hop memorabilia, Tribe Called Quest, you know what I mean? I got the Cypress Hills, I got the Public Enemies, and if you look right there, I got a vast collection of cassettes and this all kinds of funk and all kinds of stuff. I collect CDs. Obviously, y'all see the vinyls. I'm a vinyl head. VHSs and shit. I got hip hop. I got jazz. I got all sorts of shit. You know what I mean? I got the Jerry with the Damages single, some Cannabis, some Prince. Just collect cool shit. You know what I'm saying? Some LA Graffiti DVD and shit. I collect 8-tracks. Yep, even 8 tracks, bro. There's all fusion jazz, like progressive jazz, like sick shit. So yeah, bro. I collect all genres and shit. Techno, fucking D'Angelo, soundtracks. I don't know if y'all remember Original Gangsta. TLC, trip out on this one. This is how we used to influence our kids. It's a cigarette. It's like it's cigarettes. There's a cassette. It's TLC. So initially I started with this. This is my baby. Back in 2001 making beats. This is still my baby. I wrapped it up in Punisher comic book paper. I did it myself. Anyways, I'm just always thinking of ways to decorate shit. So that's what I do. This is my baby. This is what I've currently been using, the 5000. That one's ill. It's right before everything went computer based. And that's my baby too. You know what I'm saying? The 5000. I got most of my bangers are through that. I ain't used this in a minute. And this is my new edition. This is like the Buzz Lightyear of my drum machines. These are Woody and the other toys, and they scared. So this one right here, because I think it's gonna take all my time now. You know what I'm saying? So this is the MPC Live. Barely getting the hang of it. I got a few beats and not to bang this shit, but I'm getting used to it. You know what I mean? So as you can see, I just go standard mode. This goes computer based, but for the most part, I'm an MPC head, drum machine collector, I guess. I got 3 of them, I guess. You could call that a collection. Then I fuck with the UA, dope ass sound. I got a vintage compressor, which also gives me a sick ass sound because I do the raw boom bap shit. You know what I mean? I got the TLM 103 microphone, and I sample VHS, CD, cassette, and vinyl. So everything is linked up to my samplers. If I want to sample anything, I don't really fuck with YouTube unless I'm on the road, because I have my own physical YouTube where I can sample cassettes, videos, records. Plus, I love the sound. Analog Mainstream, that's the team, which I'm pretty much on the member. So, you know what I mean? Squad. That's the arsenal right here, bro.
Artificial intelligence given in the form of pill. I'm just keeping it real. Time to lose in the veil. A lot of us don't express.